is my first video on YouTube channel. I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Nur Izzati Shadwani. So I'm going to talk about Singapore working culture. See you guys. Local firms in Singaporean was mainly influenced by cultural characteristics. First is hierarchy relationship. Second is collectivism. Is rules. Fourth is working hours. Fifth is multiple ethnics. For the first characteristic is a hierarchy relationship. When it comes to the relationship, this translates into a culture of hierarchy where people in the lower level of the hierarchy would accept their subordinate status and respect formal hierarchy authority. On the other hand, multinational corporation (MNC) in Singapore have less power distance between each level, so higher managers are usually more willing to share their authorities with subordinates in making decisions. So if you have just found a job in Singapore, a good way to confirm hierarchy relationship is to treat employers and superiors with utmost respect. For the second characteristic of Singapore working culture is collectivism. So in Singapore working culture, teamwork is seen as the main means of achieving company goals, group harmony. So this collectivist culture has a preference to work together and share rewards more than striving for individual recognition, sharing responsibilities, helping each other, and learning from each other. So the younger generation of Singaporeans exhibits more individual traits than the older generations. The third characteristic is rules. So the Singapore is famous for having strict rules for everything. Majority of the local firms don't actually want too many employees running around with too many crazy ideas. It's often thought that most Singaporeans cannot innovate because they are conditioned to be followers rather than creative idea generators. For the next characteristic is working hours. Many companies in Singapore have moved from 6 days to 5 days per week. This is especially true for MNC and companies engaged in white-collar work. Normal working hours are 40 to 45 hours per week. However, depending on the workload, you may end up spending more hours per week. Normally, there is a half an hour to 1 hour lunch break. Overtime is not applicable to most of the professional and managerial jobs. Last characteristic is multiple ethnics. While it may be true that some Singaporeans may not wholly practice the Singaporean traditional values of group-centeredness, respecting a hierarchy relationship, and preserving faith, you are strongly advised to learn and understand the behavioral patterns of the Chinese and Malay. For the Chinese culture, in respecting the traditional Chinese values or Chinese employees, is to perform introductions in order of seniority. Even if the junior has a higher rank than the senior, be sure to practice this when introducing your team to another in future. For Malay culture, in respecting Malay or Muslim values or Muslim employees is to avoid consuming non-halal product that is in foods and drinks when in the company of your colleague. Can I conclude in Singaporean working culture is it is important to note the unwritten formalities when dealing with your Singaporean colleagues and employers to ensure smooth working relations and reduce culture shock. Thank you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.